Let's get back to some NBA talk with friend of the program, ladies and gentlemen, man who's played in the NBA for 13 years, absolute dog, co-host of the Knuckleheads podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Richardson.
Hey, Rich.
Appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate it, fellas.
You see that, Q Rich? That's like 2 weeks old now at this point, dude.
How did that happen?
Not flexing. Gunther. Yeah, me and Gunther got into a dog fight in there in St. Louis, and he wanted to chop me with a backhand like this one time, and I think maybe the elbow caught me in the shoulder. Next day, couldn't lift my left arm. I'm like, what the hell happened to my left arm? I watched it back at the end. He gave me like a slingshot lariat, and I landed on my shoulder. I was like, oh, maybe I dislocated my shoulder. Then I was moving. I was like, no, it's fine. I just can't move. Then 4 days later, this thing came in, and I don't think it's leaving anytime soon.
No.
I mean, that's 2 weeks old in there. That was a deep bruise.
Oh, yeah. Contusion.
I mean, I might have had a bone bruise from his elbow.
Truly.
That's the blood coming up to the surface, huh?
Yeah, man, that's body healing. That's body healing. You know, maybe I need to go smack some wood.
Yeah, not a bad
Maybe
idea.
I need to go bop some wood. You know, yeah. All right. Let's get to it. Hey, this Oklahoma City team, outrageous right now. And we are a part of the problem, I think Oklahoma City fans would say, because we obviously have a lot of people that watch, for whatever reason, on all the platforms that we are currently on. And we didn't talk about Oklahoma City at all. The only time we talked about Oklahoma City throughout the entirety of the NBA season, we kept saying, everybody's saying we need to talk about OKC more. And then we talk about OKC with SGA. This guy's going to win the MVP. And then we move on to every other storyline that was obviously part of the global headlines. This team's outrageous. Do you think Minnesota knows they have no chance here? What do you think the thoughts are out of Minnesota's camp? And with Oklahoma City, it feels like they're only getting more confident somehow. Is that accurate with how you're feeling?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, obviously, you know, they did what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to protect your home court, come out and win the first two games. If I'm Minnesota, I mean, obviously, you're a little disappointed in the way you perform, but I mean, they got to know that they going back home to Minnesota, they're going to have a crazy crowd, and they got to handle their business out. Their job is to protect their home court, get game 3, and then worry about game 4 after that. Then you got to turn your attention to trying to win on the road in OKC, where it's looked very tough for them in the first 2 games.
Yeah, Oklahoma City seems like they're going to be tough for everybody. They have been. Yeah, they have been all year. They've been.
They're a really good team. If y'all been sleeping, I don't know how. They've been this good the entire season long.
All right, Q, Rich, we get it. I just admitted that. You know, I just said that we were a part of the problem. I don't need you to double down, okay? But yes, this team might be, they're talking about maybe one of the most dominant seasons of all time.
I mean, when you look at the amount of points they won, the games by, the double-digit victories, and how they had very few close contests, I mean, I'm not a big, going deep dive into the stats like that, but I mean, probably statistically, I don't think people would look at them as all time and say that just with the collection of guys they got. But I mean, statistically, from what I'm hearing, they definitely are up there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to build that narrative now, and Oklahoma City fans are like, yeah,
told you.
Yeah, that is what we have been saying this entire time. He's obviously been going bananas. He's a foul artist, is what Coach Malone says. Yep. He's not the only one in the league. Their ability to be able to work the rules and make it appear as if a foul is happening is better than others. It's a talent. It's a skill. And until they stop calling it, why would he stop doing it, is basically his message. And every former player that I've talked to basically has said that. And whenever we take it to our game, it's like Patrick Mahomes isn't scared to get a little extra if it's going to gain 15 yards. And he's by far the best guy in our league. So I guess we can't really say much about it. They're going to call it. You got to take advantage of it. He certainly has. And they've been dominant. And the games are boring. Mm-hmm. The games are boring.
Bummer.
But the atmosphere is electrifying down there. So congrats all of Oklahoma. And yeah, let's see if Ant-Man can answer at home. I hope he's able to do it. It doesn't feel likely. Rudy Gobert has this pregame dribbling routine.
He's got handles.
Yeah, he can do it.
Did you see this, Q Rich? Did you guys?
Yeah.
AI.
ESPN TikTok certainly did him no favors putting this out.
Yeah.
Now, somebody had this on camera somewhere, because he's doing this in a public place. So this is probably going to get out
big
somewhere.
fella getting loose, man. This is just one of the ways you try and figure out to get yourself going in the game. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to try any of that in the game.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay, Pat.
No.
I see.
I just Rudy Gobert it. thing about it is I've never played organized basketball.
You're in a tight space.
Yeah, it's tight space. Hey, the balls are flat. You know, if I had a good wood, hey, if I could bop this off a good wood, good wood. You know what I mean? Yeah, need some of that good wood to get that Rudy Gobert dribbling technique.
I think all that blood from that bruise went straight to your face just then.
Well, my face is always red, McGee. You know that. I mean, that is part of the game. Rudy Gobert was done no favors, but they need to pick it up if they're going to make this a series because, boy, it seems as if that thing is a one-way bullet train running over everybody in Oklahoma City. Let's talk about the other series tonight. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Q-Rich, Knicks lose in devastating fashion. Overtime, there's now clips coming out before overtime of some of the Knicks players kind of arguing on the bench when they were up, I think, like 123, 118 before the comeback was complete. How deflating of a loss is this for the Knicks? Do you see them kind of bouncing back immediately, or is this one of those, hey, this could linger into game two, and then when they come back to Indiana, it becomes a must-win situation? Or do you think Thibodeau already told them, like, hey, we got to get this done, get over it. It's time to go back out there, win a game, and tie the series?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty positive that Coach Thibodeau and even the players are probably telling each other, like, hey, it's over with, it's done with, it's happened, and we got to flush it down the toilet and move on to the next game. And I'm pretty sure that everybody is planning to do just that. But I mean, the thing I'll be paying attention to is do they really achieve doing that? Because I mean, it's not as easy as just saying it and doing it. The way they lost that game in that fashion, never in history done before. But I mean, even if it had happened in history before, the fact that it happened to the Knicks in the Garden, it's a different feeling. Like now, when I come into this game tonight, watching this game, if the Knicks don't start off lightning fast and get that crowd on fire, you'll hear it. Or even if they get out to a start, as they start to come back, you'll be able to sense from watching on TV, every shot is gonna have a. If they miss, it builds in the Garden like nowhere else. I played there 4 years, been there a bunch of times. I'm telling you, when you struggle and in this type of situation after that game, it's going to be so important for them to start this game out in a good way to give their crowd something to get loud about. And they're still going to have a little back of their head like we can't get too ahead of ourselves because they just came back crazy, but they got to give the crowd something to get into early.
Okay, so on that note, you talk about the crowd over there in New York. McGee has a question for you, Q. Do you know Ryan McGee?
Yeah, Q.
I know who he is. I've seen him on ESPN a bunch.
And by the way, first of all, I appreciate you having that 2000 ESPN magazine back there. I'm pretty sure I have like a NASCAR story buried in like page 87.
That's what I'm talking about.
But hey,
that was my first cover, so that's very near and dear. It was pretty big time for me, a college kid and just a Chicago kid, and being on the cover of ESPN.
Hey, that was my first cover.
Hey,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I was on the conference call when we decided to do that. So you're welcome. I voted for you. So
I appreciate that because I definitely know it wasn't. I didn't know I was supposed to be the cover until it actually happened. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Way to go to bat for him. Thank you, McGee. Thank you, McGee.
But I wanted to the point you just made. I wanted to ask you about. I mean, you played in multiple cities. But what is it like, as a sports writer, we try to make a big deal out of playing in New York or playing in L.A. or playing for certain franchises. But what is it like, the pressure or not of playing at MSG and playing for the Knicks and when the team's doing well and also when it's struggling? What is that actually like for y'all?
I think I was listening to Stephen A. the other day, and he made a good point that I hadn't really thought about because, like I said, I was there when I was playing for the Knicks when the Giants won and when the Yankees won, and like all we would hear was like, yeah, they was going crazy, but like, man, if the Knicks win, and it makes sense because what Stephen A. said is that when you think about the Giants, there's the Giants and the Jets. So no matter which side or how many more on each side, there's still a split, a divide. Same thing when you go to baseball, Yankees and the Mets. No matter who has more, it's still some type of split. It's only one basketball team. It's the New York Knicks. Yeah. And that is anybody that you ask about New York, no disrespect to Brooklyn, but they were New Jersey before they became Brooklyn. And New York Knicks are the team of New York. And I don't know if that'll ever change. And so when you put everybody, that's the collective of everybody, all the Giants fans, all the Jets fans, all the Islanders, you put all of them into one, and they all going for the Knicks. And so when you in that building and you feel that, You know it. You don't even when you outside the building, when you going to dinner, when you going to the movies, when you walk in the streets, these guys are everywhere, and they always are letting you know they are the most aware fans of anybody. They'll know the 13th man who don't even suit up. They will know who he is walking in the streets, and he have something to say. So like, you appreciate it to the point. I mean, especially me for like being removed from it, because I played for 5-6 teams, and I could be anywhere on the planet, and there will be somebody that is a New York Knicks fan that will come up to me and say, "Yo, son," and not just say you was a Knick. They're gonna give me a specific moment from a game or a time and let you know that they are for real. They're not just saying something. Like, that's the most impressive thing about Knicks fans worldwide. Forget about the United States. I've been out of the country, and somebody rolls up like, "Son, you played for the Knicks in 07. It's like, this is crazy.
They know ball, huh?
Are everywhere.
They know ball, is what you're saying. It sounds like you're saying, like, the Knicks fans know ball, and there's a lot of them. Now, whenever you talk about that many humans living in one area, there's obviously going to be more sports fans, you would assume. Feels like the Knicks are just like, even people that maybe aren't fans of other sports too in that city are like, no, we're Knicks fans. MSG is right in the middle of this entire thing. It's kind of like, it feels like, to your point, the Knicks are the thing that unifies everybody there. Jalen Brunson's king of that city right now. Aaron Judge obviously is beloved over there, but he still got one slow-mo over there in the Mets too.
They're ready to run him out of town.
But Jalen Brunson, I thought about Jalen the other night because, you know, on the basketball court, he looks like he's undersized, not as tall or whatever. So I thought about him just walking through New York City one time with no security or whatever. It's like that would be right. He's the king of that place. And if you were to win as a Knick over there, you're literally king of city for the rest of your life, I assume, right?
At this point, Jalen Brunson is good. He's a made man in New York for his lifetime. If he wins, he'll be like, he could probably own the city. If they get a championship, Jalen Brunson could probably do anything under the sun. But like, even falling short of actually delivering an NBA championship, what he's been able to play deliver to this team with his level of play and for who they thought they were getting and who he has become. And then he took a discount. He could have waited till next year to sign and hit him with the Supermax. He didn't do that. He signed a lower deal and allowed them to go out and use the money to get other people. Like, he's just done things that he's gonna go down in folklore. He'll be like I say, he's on pace to be the greatest Knick ever. If he wins the NBA championship, it won't even be a contest, but he still has a chance to achieve that title even if he doesn't win a championship. That's how crazy he's gone since he's arrived in New York.
What do you have in game one?
43.
41, 43. He's so good. He is so good, so fun to watch. And he had a three there late with somebody in his,
It's either Neesmith or Nemward.
Yeah, I think it might have been, I forget who it was.
The floater over Obi Toppin.
Over Obi Toppin, insane.
Yeah.
Especially because Obi hits his head off the rim, basically. Obi's bounce is outrageous.
Effortless.
Fourth quarter OT, got to be tired. Fourth quarter OT, you've already been through it, let alone it's game 100. His hands at the top of the backboard. Jalen knows that, floats it over top of him. Unbelievable touch by Jalen Brunson. Tyrese obviously does his thing. No big deal. But we just brought up Neesmith right there. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Q. Neesmith was obviously the number 2 for the Pacers in game 1. We always know that Haliburton is going to be the facilitator and most likely going to take the shots in the clutch. But how nice is it for the Pacers and how hard is it for the Knicks that they never know who the number 2 is going to be? Obviously, Siakam's out there, and skill-wise, he probably is the number 2, but he's not always the number 2 scorer. So how nice is that for the Pacers, and how hard is that to defend for the Knicks?
I mean, that's one of the things that make the Pacers as good as they are, man. I mean, much like OKC, they're so deep and they got so many different players that could come in and they play such a selfless team style of basketball that you don't know. Even with Tyrese Haliburton being the number 1 guy, the all-star, the facilitator, he still doesn't always lead them in scoring and points. He's always going to probably lead them in scoring. I mean, passing the ball and facilitating and getting assists. But like you said, it could be Pascal one night. It might be Miles Turner, Neesmith. You got Nembhard. They got a lot of different guys.
TJ McConnell.
Look, TJ McConnell, a dog. He comes in and changes everything up. He's one of my favorite players off the bench because you need those type of guys. And then the other thing for me that I feel like doesn't get enough credit is Coach Rick Carlisle. Like Coach Rick Carlisle is a championship coach, and he's been coaching at a championship level for a lot of years. And he's not a guy that, makes a big fuss or a big personality, so he may not get the attention and the love that he deserves. But, the job that he's been able to do, they go 9, 10, 11 deep with guys that average over 15 minutes a game throughout the season and up to 30-something. So, that's a lot of players that you bringing in and out, and he's giving those guys a lot of confidence. And so the results that you seeing happening now, it's not just like he getting into the playoffs and starting to do things. These guys have been playing all season long. They've been getting minutes here and there in different situations, and they ready for these moments because they've been in those opportunities and been in those situations, and he's giving them the confidence to come in and play well. And I think we're seeing the end result of that. This is a scary, scary Pacers team. I said this the other day, though, when we were on here. I said, don't be surprised or don't take the Pacers lightly. Yes, I picked the Knicks, but I'm not shocked that the Pacers. I was shocked at the way that game went down. Everybody was. I was shocked at the way it went down, but I wasn't shocked that they were able to get a game and they could actually win this series. I wasn't shocked by that.
0 in 1,414. That's a stat that is a matter of fact thing, not just a stat. 0.
I'm a former player. I watch games every single night. I'm not somebody who is easily moved. When what the hell he hit that shot, I leaped out of my seat and yelled, what the? I was like, oh, ran from outside of my house into the house. It was like, oh, I was asking my kids, it was crazy.
Yeah, you're heartbroken. Heartbroken, media Knicks guy, heartbroken about Tyrese Haliburton. And then having the wherewithal to hit the choke celly, obviously awesome. And then it's only a 2. Got to go to overtime. Thank God we won.
Mm-hmm.
I do have sources close to the situation that have said that Tyrese, immediately upon finding out that it was not a 3 and it was a 2, said, oh, no, that was a 2? Okay, we have to win. This is I have sources close to the situation that have said that. And I appreciate the fact that he acknowledged it and said, I might have wasted it. I might have wasted, I don't know. I think he got it out of the way. Yeah. I think he got it out of the way. Did what people were maybe expecting if a situation like that happens. Who knows if he ever falls into another situation like that in Madison Square Garden with Reggie Miller on the call and to get out of there with a win. Well done, Tyrese. Yeah. Just like everything else. All right,
he definitely didn't waste it. He made it. Listen, it would have been more iconic if it was a 3 and it was the end of it.
Definitely.
But the fact that he still got that off and the moment of it all and everything, nah, he didn't waste it all. Now, I agree with him. You can't keep doing it, but that was legendary. That will go down. Even though it didn't win the game, we're going to see that replay and that whole everything. We're going to see that for years to come. That was an iconic, legendary shot.
Tyrese 24 too. He's got a lot of sport left. I think there's a chance at some point something's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's going to be used against Tyrese.
No doubt.
Sure.
Okay, Tyrese knows that. Tyrese knows that. Okay, last question about this series, and we'll let you go. Go ahead, Ty.
Q, obviously we know Brunson's going to get his and Cat and, Bridges and all those guys. But if the Knicks are to win tonight, who is the biggest X factor that they need to either, give more minutes or, score, have like a 20-plus point game? Like, which person that no one is really talking about needs to have a massive game tonight for the Knicks to win?
I don't know that nobody's talking about him, but to me, I feel like they, outside of Cat, Anthony Towns, and Brunson, the next 2 guys for me are always going to be OG Anunoby and then Mikal Bridges. Because I feel like even when you talk about Brunson and Anthony Towns, Josh Hart is a constant to me, and his constant doesn't have to be points. He always shows up in every other way, whether he scores big or not. He's out there defending at a high level, rebounding, playing different guys, and doing different things. So he always shows up in his role. So to me, if OG can show up and be good, and then Mikal can too, that seriously heightens the Knicks' chances. But just what you said, Cat Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson scored 70-some points combined. He had 40, Cat had 30. And to not get that W, that's a worry for me. Because if you tell me going into the game that Cat's going to double-double with 30 and Brunson's going to get you 40-plus, to me, that's a Knicks win. And if the Pacers withstood that and still got them a victory, to me, the Pacers should be oozing confidence going in there, trying to be greedy and saying we're gonna get 2 and bring them back to our home court and finish them off. So I mean, it's gonna be super interesting to see, man. But like I said, I'll be super interested to see how the Knicks really have recovered from that game, because that was a soul taker.
You talked about Josh Hart. I was trying to pull up the clip from the other night. He obviously had a swollen eye as if he had just got out of a boxing match because of what happened against Boston. Yeah, absolute dog. Absolute dog. That was in warm-ups. I saw the clip. So that Knicks team is awesome to watch, fun to watch. And good luck to you and your Knicks as the Pacers look to move to 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Richardson. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Rich.
Oh, wait. Q, wait.
Yeah, just want to make sure, Q-Rich, get out there and see Final Reckoning this weekend. It's the greatest movie of the year.
Today is the day. I am already situated. I have my ticket. I'm going to one of the Cinemax joints where you got the IMAX. I could sit back, the seats go up. I could bring a blanket if I want to do the whole. Yeah, they got drinks for you and everything.
Boom.
They bring them.
There you go.
All right, you need to do that.
Grand time.
Let us know how it goes. You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. Quentin Richardson.
Thank you, Rich.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up all range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here, feeling fun.